All right. Oh, we're live, and hopefully it won't end in a cliffhanger today.
Next time on Trekyards Lives, what?
Will Stewart ever get a fucking haircut? Oh, I shouldn't swear.
Your hair looks fine. It lit like.
Yeah, well, it doesn't though. The sides and the back are getting unmanageable a little bit, especially the sides.
I think you just
everybody says, oh, it looks fine. It looks fine. But lockdown's been extended now. Instead of May 20th, it's June 2nd. So okay. I was hoping to get my hair cut on May 20th, and it's like, no, another 2 weeks. It's like, oh, you bastards. So,
I killed my son. Crayon bastards.
You Canadian bastards, you. Extended lockdown. Canadian bastards.
Whereas ours is closing down, as in unclosing down. Well, I should be more specific. Yes, it's going well, and I get to finally see Marie after 7 months next week, so that'd be nice.
Damn, I'd say. Jesus.
Yeah. So I will take no live on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I think that's acceptable. I think I'm allowed to do that. Take that.
I'll do something. Don't worry, I'll be here for you guys.
People do rely on their Trekyardian goodness. Okay, good. They're all lined up. And I think the audience can pick who goes first when we get to that by a super chat. I think that's a fair system today, as I now finally set up.
Cool. Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Screw replicators, outside grilling, and Trekyards. Grilling while watching Trekyards. It's awesome.
Sounds cool. But don't tell us, it'll make us hungry.
Steaks, burgers, shish kebabs.
Make us hungry, though.
Pork chops, sausage. Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Darn. And obviously, do you want to pimp your birthday live? What are our plans for the birthday live? Because I feel like that would be a earlier in the day, a bit more sun, a bit more vibe.
When are we doing that, though?
It's good. That's the question, isn't it?
We might have.
I think it's the weekend after. I think.
I can't do it this weekend. There's too much going on this weekend.
Yeah.
And the following weekend, there's Marie. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's coming up. It'll probably be the weekend after my birthday.
Yeah, I assume it's 29th or 30th.
So like June 5th. And your birthday's June 7th, so.
No, I meant to be 29th or 30th. Or do you mean next weekend being 22nd you can't do?
Oh, no. You're right. Next weekend.
Yeah, because I could do 29th and then we could do the...
I thought you were seeing Marie the 29th, though.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have a long conversation after. I forgot. Might have to be a weekday. Anyway. Happy birthday to Stuart in the future, brothers.
I love that our birthday's like a week apart. Like, what the hell?
And so is our mental age as well.
Anyway, guys, hit that like button. 36 people here.
Yes.
Hit the like button. Yeah, today, so we're doing cliffhangers, but not like 5-part cliffhangers like in DS9 or Enterprise, where there's like serialized arcs. We're just like 2-part episode cliffhangers kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to differentiate. All these cliffhangers in my mind have to have a certain impact, and while you could have impact in DS9 Season 7, Part 7 of 12, that's not really what it's doing, and there might be the exception to the rule in this 20 list. We don't know, we haven't got there yet. But yeah, we're going to stick to a more conventional of a classical cliffhanger. DS9 is not built for this sort of discussion.
And yeah, and for the record, it will not be the same list as the other day, which was the favorite 2-parters, because 2-parter as a whole, and then just the cliffhanger at the end, there's a complete difference. So.
Well, and the irony being, this may, and it may still, have led Dissent to be in the running, because it's not talking about how good the 2-parter is, and especially on the second part, it's how good is the cliffhanging moment, and or bits around it. So Dissent is a better first part. It could be on our lists. Doesn't matter if the part 2 is crap. So it's very different how this list will play out. I'm actually really excited because it is a different framework to think about.
I'm very excited too. Can you tell?
Yeah. Did you not have a good time on this? Because it was quite I liked the different thought process. I had kind of fun like thinking outside of the box.
This was your idea, like the other day when you suggested the top 10 2-parters, and I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. And I put it off the 2 days that I had off, and I should have really worked on it. And then today, it's like, okay, I need to And I'm looking and I'm watching the endings of these, and I'm like, okay, I got to go back a little further to see kind of where the. And it was hell for me to pick these because there's so many good ones. Hopefully, my list will be, good enough. Um, there are a lot that I had that didn't make the list, but put them all in the full. Decide after. So anyway, yeah, I had a really awful time with this list. So thank you so much, Samuel.
So therefore, a super chat of support for Stuart and his heartache. I think it's gonna be a great list. I think he's gonna pick really good ones. I'm not saying sarcastically or whatever. I think he's gonna have a good list.
You're the reason I'm in a bad mood today. I started the day off well, and then I had to do this, and ever since then it's just been a spiral of like I'm kind of depressed and da.
I am the reason you're in a good mood most days, so I'm okay to take the bullet some other times.
Very good. All right, I like that.
I'm gonna start sharing while he talks behind my back. Yes. So I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, select Commander Kakin's guy. I don't know. Anyway, 49 people here with 38 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Let's get those likes up. And yeah, if you want to super chat as Sergeant Montgomery did, please consider doing so. It does support the channel, and it makes sure that we read your comment or question on the air because we love interacting with you guys. So if you can, please do. Also, if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, click the join button down beside the subscribe button. First of all, make sure you're subscribed. If the subscribe button is red, that's a red alert. You haven't done it yet. So click that, turn the red alert off, make sure you're subscribed. Then hit the join button if you want to check out the different tiers for a monthly support, which really helps us out. And you get your name highlighted, you get a little badge beside your name showing us how long you've been a member, and you get little access to emojis and stickers for the live chat. So if it's a live chat thing that you join quite often, it's a good thing, and it does show us who our supporters are, and we really appreciate that. I mean, you're all our supporters, so just because you can't support financially, just being here is amazing. So we got a great community. So or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. It's another monthly way to help us out as well, or send a PayPal. There's a PayPal information down in the description of every video. Just trekyards@hotmail.com. So if you send us a PayPal, just put it in the regular chat that you've sent it. Either us or one of the moderators will see it, and we'll read your comment or question via the email from PayPal. So that's another way to do that as well, to support us. So also you can support yourselves by clicking out some of the links in the description down below. There's Trekyards merchandise, like this awesome shirt, and different things like discount codes off of Eaglemoss ships, because we know you all like ships because you're here at Trekyards and we are the ship guys. Kind of pride ourselves on that. So Eaglemoss and us is just a perfect team for sure. So anyway, guys, that's about it. So we're gonna be talking about cliffhangers today. Like I said, I absolutely hated making this list. I'm probably gonna have some that might surprise some people, but honestly, that's what this is all about, having some fun and just surprising people with my lists, because I like to do that. And look, it's a Samuel.
Yes.
And Tab Extra throws in 20 krona.
Hey.
It says, I refuse to use Super Chat.
We understand. Wait.
And everything you say is a lie.
Except that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, I do want to see though, which wants to go first? Stuart or me? Pick now! Or forever hold your comment. Except don't, because we love the comments. That's part of the discussion.
Yes, and please comment, even if you can't super chat. By all means, comment. We really appreciate all your input.
And also,
thank God it's Friday, says Kenju22. I agree.
Also, let me tease what I was doing yesterday.
Ooh.
Doing some Star Trek filming. I'll be posting all about this at the weekend. For my Trek shorts we talked about earlier this week, and I'm happy to report that because we did a match fund with Trekyards, we managed to put in £180 into the Indiegogo, which raised it to 42%. So, well done you all. That was really amazing, and we hope to do another one of those before the end, because that was a real great success, and we had a great time just chatting. I was able to film part of one yesterday, and I have some great stuff. You'll see some posts about that at the weekend, because it's cool. So thanks everyone, that was real nice.
Furious Fawns was a wish being a channel member meant free super chats.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept actually. That would have made sense, wouldn't it? Like 1 free super chat a week or something. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding. Especially depending on the different tier levels.
Yeah. We don't run YouTube, so that'd be good. So who's that?
So we got Area 51 says Cap. We got Supercube Sam first. Commander Cocking goes first. Final not commence. Captain Casey Stewart says the captain goes first, so it's a tie right now. Sam first says Anton Smith.
I think it's me.
First super chat's gonna punch it though. That's what we said earlier, so we're gonna stick with that.
Top 10. I'm excited to see our rationalizations because I know for a couple of these, I may not remember the entire episode as well as I should.
I definitely don't. That's one of the problems I had with this one. It's like, oh shit. So
it's definitely gonna be.
I have reasons for each one.
See, exactly.
But it doesn't mean they're all accurate or complete.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Stuart. But I did find the list relatively easy to write. Because I did go through every single show and every single season, and just a couple just stood out, and I found 11. So I was able to say, "Oh, that's my 11." I was able to order them and then throw the other one out.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Are we still waiting? I guess we can't wait any longer. We should probably get rolling.
Yeah, I think I'll jump in first. I think I had 1 or 2 more. So let's swap from the thumbnail to the premiere. No, that was I turned off my face. Wrong, Leia.
Thank you. The audience thanks you. Look, they're all saying thank you.
I don't know
in the chat right now.
I don't know if that's true.
It is. Look at the chat. It says, "Thank you, Commander. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." Because
your face is the
you
reason.
look much better that way. You got a face made for radio.
Well, face is the reason we're not subscribed. So, My number 10 in the list I've already forgotten, as is my custom.
I don't know how much I believe that, but
okay, yeah. Mine. Oh God, I haven't scaled them all. Bloody hell! Come on. Okay. My number 10 is probably not spill surprises. Star Trek Discovery. Terra Firma. It's our first top 10 actual Discovery on the list. This may be controversial. I'm happy for it to be controversial. But when thinking about two-parters, I actually thought the Mirror Universe Season 3 two-parter, that ending grabbed me.
I was going to say, when you said Discovery, I was looking around going, did things change? Is this the Mirror Universe? No, this
is Mirror Universe.
Prime Trekyards command over here. What the hell's happening?
No, my first genuine, this gets on my top 10. Because this was a good episode. It had the Guardian of the... No, not the Guardian of the... It had the Guardian Forever, which was a fun payoff. It had a lot of commitment to the bit of the Mirror Universe stuff. I liked all the acting of all the people. I liked the way it ended with changing the universe. But as with all these, the potential where it could have gone was absolutely incredible. Didn't live up to that, but that's a lot of these. But I remember just the real glee feeling of this episode compared to other Discovery ones. So all the context, in comparison to other ones. No, I was like, this is a really solid way to end, and I was just surprised and impressed by what they did. So, Star Trek Discovery, Terra Firma, is my number 10 top cliffhanger. There you go.
Wow, I didn't even look at any Discovery. Didn't even want to register it.
But
see, you're getting what?
Well, now I've said that.
I mean, I agree. It is a good cliffhanger for sure. No, it definitely deserves to be on the list. See, I think my number 10 is going to be controversial as well.
That's good.
But I mean, sure.
What do you guys think? Do you
that's a good call.
Now,
it's a good call, and I didn't even think of looking at Discovery stuff. I mean,
it was the only one I could. It was the only one, really. Nothing else two-parter is even worth thinking about. This one is absolutely.
And it's actually a two-parter because most of Discovery is serialized, so that's why I didn't even think about it really.
Yep.
Except for That Hope Is You, Part 1, Episode 1. That Hope Is You, Part 2, Episode 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever. What? Stop. Just don't.
Or the binary star, etc., etc. No,
Well, Matthew says Samuel lost all credibility with me. LOL. And so, Squadra Course. So what you're saying is when it comes to disco episodes, context is king. And magic to make them sanest man go mad. That's the episodes that I like. And context is king. We've used that joke a few times. Shaka when the walls fell. Commander has failed.
No, yeah, I think it deserves it, honestly. Because there are other ones that, and there are other ones that could be, but this had, I remember, having way more impact on me than a lot of those ones. But again, because this is impressive compared to Discovery, that helps a lot. But it was. So there you go. That's my 10.
Very good. Area 51. It's the internet. Every opinion is controversial. Yes.
Shows I'm not like biased that much. Fair shout. Yeah. Let's choose internet, guys. Also, funny in pictures to represent these was kind of hard. Like a specific, what frame did you represent the cliffhanger moment? No, Volcano is terrible. Oh, goodness.
I'm back.
Okay. You're number 10.
And yes, we like being fair here. My number 10 is The Menagerie, TOS.
Ooh.
It's like the first two-parter in Star Trek, and it ended on such a bang because they get a request from Starfleet Command for Commodore Mendez to take command of the Enterprise, so Kirk's not in command anymore, destroy the Enterprise if necessary to prevent it getting to Talos 4, and Spock is going to be up for the death penalty if they make it to Talos 4. There's a lot on the line. Kirk's no longer the captain, and Mendez even says you're not only jeopardizing your own career, but that of your captain as well. And Kirk just gives Spock that disapproving look and tells him to, tells the security to take him to the brig. So Spock could die. The Enterprise shouldn't be going to Talos 4. Kirk's no longer in command. It's kind of a gut punch, and it's overlooked a lot because of the way the episode kind of flows. But honestly, first time watching this would have been like, oof, wow. So yeah, this one had to be on the list. I mean, it's the first time we heard about the death penalty in the Federation. There's only one, and that's for Talos 4. So I just thought it was an interesting addition to the list. Sure, there are probably ones that are a little more impactful, but this one, since it was the first one, and because there's quite a few things on the line here that needed to at least make the list. So it got in at that number 10 slot.
I do think this is definitely a very situational to us personally. This one was impactful to you when you saw it. That's the criteria here,
Yeah.
Because often the stings of the dum dum dum, if you see it coming, if you don't care, doesn't matter how cool it is, you don't care. So these are, they're subjectively good, I think. And I'll be fully honest, I couldn't even tell you whether the split in the episodes are for this one. I couldn't even tell you. They're so one episode in my brain. There's no pace to me. I couldn't even you mentioning them, like,
and that's
I guess,
the problem.
But then what happens in part 2 then? Because that's they
continue the trial. So you never really see Mendez take command of the Enterprise, but technically he's in command for the last half.
Right.
And he has to do anything to prevent it from getting to Talos 4, because it's their number one directive not to get to Talos 4.
For some reason.
So he says even sabotage or destroy the ship if necessary.
And then they follow the Enterprise, which is at warp in a non-warp capable shuttle, which is apparently warp capable, even though it's not, even though it is.
Well,
it's very.
They never say that it was following them, and it got too far from Starbase, so it couldn't return.
Well, they also say they're running out of fuel, and you don't use fuel at warp, so none of it makes sense. Because also a shuttle couldn't match a warp speed of a heavy cruiser anyway.
It's season 1. It's like mid-season 1, so they still haven't established all their rules yet.
People just use it as an argument for both sides because it isn't helpful on either. It's frustrating. Okay, hey, I did consider this in the best two-parter previously, but obviously the quality for me isn't as good as other ones. But I like the choice. And thanks for reiterating because that is definitely, for the time especially, a meaty.
Yeah. The stakes are there. The stakes are on the line, and it's like, it's pretty hefty.
They're just cooked in water because it's a bland story around it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a meaty steak. Yeah. Hasn't.
That's awful. Why'd you say that? Now I'm not hungry again.
Hey, here we go. My number 9. Let's find out, because I always forget these. My number 9 is actually Basics, the Voyager two-parter. It almost made it on my list of best two-parters, but it got snagged out, I believe. This one's interesting because I remember this one very distinctly as a kid because it was radically different to the show. It's one of the better 2 episodes of the first 3 years, which is why it stands out, because they've got Suter, who's gone crazy and he works the doctor and he sacrificed. Like, that's good stuff. Paris gets some good stuff. Galaxians come back all of a sudden and then leave again all of a sudden. Like, they're rarely in it, so they make an appearance. The K's actually good in this episode. Seska's great. The stuff on the planet's weird, but it's so different that it's memorable. So everything about it is unusual, and it's one of Voyager's better early bits. And just as a way of ending, this rather great... The K's are attacking us. Okay, that's fine. They're moths to this flame. We can bat them away. Yeah, but after 43 attacks at the same place, our shields are gone. That's a great idea. Simple and effective. Then they take over the ship. And the way they do it makes sense as well. It's fine. And then they land the ship. Never been seen before in Star Trek, let alone in Voyager. Great visuals. Stand up today. They're great. And then they leave the entire crew on a planet and say, bye.
Peace out.
That's yeah, thank you. Peace out. I mean, as a cliffhanger, you're leaving all of our characters on a planet to die. That's a damn good cliffhanger. Now, it might not be the best 2 episodes, but that's like, holy shit, we're committing to this. Now, I wish they'd have cooler stuff on the planet, or I think they do a fine job. It's just not cool. It's just fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just as a moment, that's when they fly. That's a good cliffhanger. So you go.
No, I totally agree with this one. Yeah, the leaving everybody on... Not only are they stranded in the Delta Quadrant now, but also on a planet without their ship.
And without any technology. Like, it
exactly.
Keeps going worse.
Yeah, it's like... Watching it, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
How are they ever going to get the ship back?
Yeah.
Yes, there's maybe 1 or 2 people left on
board
or whatever. But
no, Kenji, you're right, did land, but I think they had a more elaborate sequence here. Yeah, you're right. I just remember this one more. But that episode's weirdly forgettable for me.
Well, just that last scene with them all standing there. You see Voyager take off and fly overhead.
Yeah.
And up through the clouds, and it's like, what the hell?
It's more distinct. Totally... Yeah. Thanks for the call, Ella.
Yeah. No, that's a great one.
Yeah. And again, wouldn't be on the best 2-part list, but it's...
Yeah, and it's the Kazon being the best of the Kazon at that point.
100%.
They never got better.
Nope. Nope.
But they were a legitimate threat here, so yeah.
Yeah, I just like the strategicness of how does a weaker race take out a more feared.
Yeah.
It it's simple but effective. Yeah, I like it. Obviously, but not obviously in my top. It's in my top 10, but still quite low. But it's a good bar.
Okay. I don't have much else to add to that.
No.
I kind of like the way they get the ship back, though. I mean, as far as a part 2 goes, it holds up. So, it's just not.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh.
All right. Well, my number 9 is the best of both worlds.
Oh my god! I think fans want this to be our number 1 or Platinum 1 or AA Star 1.
Yeah, it's not going to be. Sorry.
Wow.
So I have the TOS one as number 10, the TNG, the first TNG one as number 2. So this was an epic moment. That dun dun dun, Mr. Worf, fire, and then credits. Unless you watch the whole thing together, and it's like so anticlimactic. Mr. Worf, fire. All right, cool, yay.
Moving on.
Yeah. But as far as a season finale where you don't know what's happening for like 3 or 4 or 5 months, whatever the time was, it was pretty impactful. It's like, wow. Picard is Locutus now. He's a Borg. How are they going to get him back? Are they going to get him back? The Borg have all his knowledge, and now they're going to fire like this huge beam out of the deflector, and you're like, what's that going to look like? Again, they don't see that for months on the first watching of this. So there was a lot on the line here. Plus, not knowing if they were going to get Patrick Stewart back or Picard back was another real clincher for this one. So yeah, has to be on the list for sure.
Not high though. I am shocked because you're a big proponent at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Which shows that 8 must be much higher.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I like it.
Doubtful, I think, but that's okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Tab Extra though puts in 50 krona. Legends of Tomorrow did a worse Amelia Earhart than Star Trek Voyager, and I love it. I love a lot.
I don't know if I remember that one.
I just saw it the other day on the TV. I was like, And Sylvia walked in the room. She's like, "Is that Amelia Earhart?" And I'm like, "Yep." You can just tell by the clothing and the hair. It's like,
Is she
but
cliche? Yes. Okay.
yes, yeah. I think the best Amelia Earhart representation, honestly, was Night at the Museum too. But that was Amy Adams, and she's just gorgeous. So.
Hey now. I didn't mind the Voyager one. It's just the episode in general is again that odd vibe. They should know better. Like as a team, I always say that for Enterprise. Like they just came off Voyager. How they make Enterprise at the quality it was. Like season 1 of Voyager is fine, but they make some odd choices. That's just like, but you guys know better. You worked on TNG. Weird. But yeah, speaking of better choices, my number 8, I believe. 8.
Yes.
Azati Prime. Now this was actually more full than I remember, even though I remember it for the Enterprise J. But actually, it's Enterprise J plus Archer getting kidnapped and tortured by the Zindies, which hasn't happened yet, and then Enterprise gets attacked. And I remember watching this one live, and just that was really cool. And we're hyped. There's hype. And at the end, there's very, very good CG sequences of great music, and the sets are being trashed week on week. And it gets battered. There's a great shot where the hull gets destroyed and people fly out. And it was vicious. And even the top of the ceiling comes down. Like, and because they've damaged the ship every week, you legitimately don't know how much it could be destroyed. There's no, at the time, there was no sense of how far they're going to go. They've gone too far already, conceptually. And so you felt every moment of tension here. And it was hard to watch in a good way, and definitely oh god damn, next week, come on, because it's great. It's a really powerful ending with the fire and the smoke and the destroying your actual set.
Is this the one where you see like the bridge get destroyed and you see a little crew member like come out?
No, that the crew member, yes. Bridge, no. That's the one. That's the alternate reality one where they blow up the bridge. Because otherwise the bridge would be destroyed.
E2?
Yeah. No, that's something else where Archer's in the future. That one, the bridge gets blown up.
Okay.
But they're similar vibes, same season, but this one is this bit. But it's the one where they're flying and just get attacked by Xindi constantly, and even to Fade to Black, beam. There's no shield, so every single hit causes damage to the hull, and it just fades out. It's like, oh god, they literally can't survive.
And you know how far they are from Earth or any repair facilities.
Oh yeah,
like they're basically screwed. But at the same time, I get taken out of it a little bit because there is no shields, and they keep getting hit, and they don't just blow up. Like, you'd think that the ship, it's not that big of a ship. It wouldn't be able to take quite that much abuse.
Well, I mean...
We say shields, but we need polarized hull plate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, they do say that they want to capture the Enterprise, so I'm assuming they're peppering it to damage it. But yeah, that's certainly a conceit, isn't it? You know, I guess. But I mean, this was visceral enough, and especially for Star Trek, seeing it be kablooied up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kenju 22, $5. They came a long way to get there. LOL.
It did not go well. Did. Yeah.
And Misha is here with $10. Thank you so much, Misha.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, gents. Good afternoon, sir. Good to see you.
Afternoon.
Pardon the pun.
Although Joseph asks, is a cliffhanger a season-ending episode? Zadi Prime was not the end of a season. No, cliffhangers aren't the end of seasons. Just cliffhangers are
middle of a two-parter.
Or not even two-parter, just a story that ends on a big cliff.
Yes.
Just think of the definition of cliffhanger. Just an epic moment, end of story, where there's a very distinct next time this will be resolved. And so there are small cliffhangers, you know, to be fair, but these are meant to be the top 10 best ones, so you're not necessarily going to do small ones. I think you can argue a lot of small moments are cliffhangers, but that's not necessarily, you know... Well, there has to be a distinct payoff the next week.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, any thoughts on this one, if you remember it enough?
I don't remember enough, but like I said, I just remember the damage and kind of unrealistic that they just didn't... Because they were taking hit after hit after hit. And I was just kind of like, this is not a big ship. Let's think about this practically. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking more in then.
But yeah, I totally agree. I do remember thinking at the time, how are they going to fix this ship? Like, are they going to run across another magical repair station like they did once before?
They did.
Or the Vulcan's going to come and help? Like, they are so far from home and any kind of repair facility.
Wait, Stuart, are they a long way from home?
They are.
Available on YouTube now.
Oh yes, always pimping the stuff. Yeah. All right, cool. That's a good one. Never even really thought about that one.
See, and that's why this was like I remember it. I distinctly remember all the emotions, and it was a big old. And I think it was a really good episode. It was one of the best Enterprise episodes in my opinion. It went in directions you never thought, because even just going to the J was like, that's the future, the real future. So yeah, one of my favorite Enterprise ones.
Captain Chili Beana, $5. I just got here. Hit that like button. Hope I didn't miss too much. It's great to see you on a Friday afternoon. Good to see you as well. Yes, 88 people here with 67 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get to 75. Can we get 75 likes? I think we can.
And it is nice to be on a Friday. We don't often do Friday ones, except on the long slogs of Picard. This would be the day for new shows. This would be our big day, but less so much.
Yeah,
less so much.
Matthew DeFreitas, $2. 0 hours, probably my favorite cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. All right, your number 8.
My number 8 is Endgame. Janeway shows up. I don't remember
the midpoint. When's the midpoint? I'll be honest.
Well, Janeway shows up. Other Janeway's like, "Yo, you're not doing that," and she's like, "I don't know if you noticed, but I outrank you."
That's true.
And then she gets onto the view screen in the Borg sphere or whatever and says, "I've come to bring Voyager home." And you get the pan down to the Borg Queen, and the Borg Queen's like, "It's on." I don't know if it was a good acting choice, because it wasn't like an "I'm angry," it wasn't like "I'm scared," it was like a shit.
This got real.
Yeah. So yeah, Admiral Janeway showing up and kind of putting Captain Janeway in her place was good enough. And then right after that scene, you get this one, and there's actually a Borg droid beside the Queen too. It's like, shit, we're gonna have a bad day today. Should have slept in. Should have called in sick today. So yeah, this was a good scene.
And why does that resonate with you specifically, or just coolness factor?
Just the coolness factor. Janeway yelling at Janeway, well, not yelling, but trumping herself, and just the reaction of the Borg Queen, like this has been a thorn in our side forever. Now I got 2 Janeways to deal with, Captain and Admiral, and one's from the future with future tech. So shit.
Yeah.
It'll open up a lot of possibilities for some excitement. So
obviously, I love Endgame. I always consider, for some reason, Endgame, like the first part ends like as she steals a time device or before. But no, that's not at all. It's a very very long present. It's a full episode basically. By this, she's jumped back in time. I just think it was very, very intertwined. It's hard to pick a moment, but I agree that as a cliffhanger is powerful, and certainly I can't watch that without knowing the Borg Queen's watching it. But as a fan watching it for the first time, which I wasn't watching it for the first time. I don't remember that moment myself. But yeah, seeing the Borg and the original Borg Queen, who people would hopefully register, in the beautiful makeup. I'm sure they
Alice Krieg.
Yep, I'm sure they up the makeup for her again. And yeah, I love that idea. She's like, oh no, like there's this famous villain who almost killed Picard. It's like, oh no. Another Enterprise? Wait, no, wrong show. Another Janeway.
Another Janeway.
But for real. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, from my brain, they're one part. They're a movie. Cool. That's
Curious Fawns keeps saying we should do cliffhangers in our 2-parters. Yeah, our 2-parters kind of just like sometimes end, and then next week is the continuation. There's no like. Well, I think that's what he means about a regular 2-part episode.
I still use our next time on Trekyards. I still use those. There is still
yeah.
But yeah,
we should record new ones of those too.
We really should.
You probably get sick of hearing them all the time.
I do. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's my number 8. So
cool.
I guess we're on to your number 7 now.
Yep. Let's see if any of this is the same. We'll find out. And my number 7 is Scorpion. Yeah, this one definitely trumped Endgame for me, because again, I remember the visual of not only the episode introduces a big bad new threat, we get some brilliant CG as we talked previously, but the end scene is 18472 ships bad enough, it can kill Borg ships, we've seen it. A fleet come out, go together, kill speaking, goddamn. They kill an entire planet effortlessly very easily.
Yes.
Excellent effects, very, very good. And then this iconic image of the Borg cube, who we've seen previously as a killer, is now tracked beaming Voyager to safety from a planet's destruction, a Borg fleet's destruction, and we end on this like, well, where the hell is this gonna go? Having now been allies, like again, the potential is insane here. And if you think contentious to TNG and First Contact, this is an insane proposition, and it's like I'm so glad we got to see this, and it just looks amazing. It's really good effects and really good pacing, and like what a moment of like shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything you said is spot on. Like the destruction of the planet, and it's good effects too. The planet blows up. You see like 3 Borg cubes, like, and then one's just dragging Voyager along.
And they're hit by shrapnel, not even like it's like little bits and they explode. It's very good.
Yeah. No, that was absolutely because the species 8472 was this new big bad threat that the Borg can't even deal with, and then they come in and destroy an entire planet. You're like, oh shit.
It's an effortless up the bar that actually feels surprisingly natural. You would think it'd be like, oh, OP. No, it kind of, yeah. I just like the largeness into the Trek world. You know, you can imagine TNG, a Borg cube being, WSD being pulled by a Borg cube being the same visual. We got it here, etc. Yeah.
And Aurora Uplinks puts in $5.
Hey,
I want a Janeway Star Trek series with her as a time agent or as a rogue admiral.
Ooh. Huh. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Not have much else to add to this. I don't know. I might be talking about it later. So.
No, probably not. Probably not. Who knows? Who knows? Only future Janeway knows.
Right. And future Captain Foley. He hasn't shown up yet. But when he does.
I look forward to seeing you.
I don't know if you can tell me what to do, though.
No. Well.
Yeah, I've already got a gray streak. You can really tell when my hair's long now. It's a gray streak like right here, just the front part. It's like, that's sexy, but you can't see it because I'm blonde. You can see it in the sunlight, though. See it?
Just 25 gray
You can
hairs.
see it in my Tilly picture.
Yes.
Picture I took with Tilly at Star Trek Las Vegas. Anyway. All right, moving on to my number 7 now.
Yes.
My number 7 is Equinox.
Ooh.
I tried to get a good screen cap here of... This is right after Equinox buggers off and sets a course for the Alpha Quadrant top warp. Voyager's stuck. Everybody on the bridge is like shooting phasers at the different little portals that are opening up on the ship. And you see Janeway fire, and the portal opens up behind her, and Chakotay is like, Captain! And you get this shot from the alien's point of view, and that's how it ends. It's like, oh shit, is Janeway dead? Again, you got to wait till the next season to find... Equinox was definitely a great story. The fact that Ransom just basically buggers off on her and leaves them to face this alone. I don't know. It's a pretty impactful moment. And just the way that ended with that point of view from the alien, you don't know what's going to happen to Janeway. I remember seeing this and go, are they writing her off the show? Because it's always a possibility, right? Like if an actress isn't happy or, their contract's up or whatever, you don't know all behind the scenes at the time. But it's like, that's a pretty impactful shot to end on.
And Kes was removed. Like, Kes did leave. There's a precedent. I mean, Tasha obviously as well, and Jadzia. I mean, each show does actually have... I think Enterprise only is the only one that keeps them all... Actually, although less long of a run, so it's not quite a fair comparison.
Except for Trip.
That's the holodeck, Stuart. It was not real. Yeah, no, Equinox. Yeah, definitely. This was... It was strong in a smaller way. It was a very intimate, personal, oh my god moment. Like I just talked about a Borg cube pulling Voyager away from a destroyed planet, and you talked about a one alien attacking the bridge. Like, but it is equally as impactful. That's the great thing about it. Like, it's that personal touch. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
What do you guys think?
I guess. Yeah, let us know, guys. I mean, some people are saying good choices so far when we mention them. So, I mean, Joseph, TNG's 4th season finale, Redemption, has a great ending with the view of Tasha Yar's daughter. That was one of the ones that was In my potentials, maybe.
It was okay. It was a better part 1 than part 2 for sure, but it's
It was a good cliffhanger to see Tasha Yar back, though. So
it was, but she doesn't say much interesting. Like she has very little real presence in the story.
humans have a way of turning up where you least expect him.
Nail, head, nail, head, nail, head. It's like, you know, yeah. My number 6, Stuart,
Go for it.
is The Expanse, the season 2.
Speaking of The Expanse, I'm up to episode 9 of The Expanse now. I watched a bunch last night, and I'm very hooked now. It's pretty good.
But
So
I
I'm
thought
glad
you
this
said
is
it
on
was
your
crap,
list.
though. I thought you said it was crap.
The first 4 episodes are a slog, but I'm into Expanse now, guys. So I'm gonna be watching it. And anyway, sorry to steal your thunder.
You know what?
Expanse, go.
You should do then lives where I just put a picture of me and then you just do Expanse reviews. I do some pre-recorded statements every 5 minutes. Say, I agree, Stuart. And you see what point that is and see what I agree to. Yeah, The Expanse, the first Expanse. This for me symbolizes the first good Enterprise episode. Like really good episode, which is sad. Let's be honest, at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
But I think this was a real bar. They just suddenly jumped a bar. It starts with basically a massacre on Earth. Excellent effects, excellent cinematography, out of nowhere, greatly done. And then this big explorer ship comes home again, which takes weeks, you know, not for a parade, not for anything positive, but because we got attacked. And not even by a race that we know that we've made enemies with. Something random, like something we couldn't even have thought about. And then we learn stuff. We get this great battle with Duras, which is great. Bird of Prey is in that, and obviously it pays off twice. But it's just this real darkness. It's legitimate. It feels gritty. It feels, and obviously knowing the real weapon's bigger, I think your brain actually registers how small this weapon is at the start. Like, you know, this is only the first. I think that is there because it is so minimal damage for what it is. And while it's a simple episode, it has those, you know, improving the ships. We get photon torpedoes. We get all these new things. We get a real focus, and everyone delivers a great performance, and it ends on a great space battle with Birds of Prey with it's very technical but lightweight volumetric clouds, which are a massive render hog. Oh my god, compared to what they normally do. That's why the shots look so good. They're like high end what they are, and it actually ends after this big epic. We're going to the Expanse with just open space because, you know, through the barrier into just the unknown of it just looks like space again, but it's this, we're now on the other edge. And it to end a season at the starting visual of the next season was a really ballsy choice, because it's not starting with this, it's ending with this episode, which really starts season 3. And I always remember being this was a real gut punch, this episode, and memorably so.
This one for me, I agree with a lot of what you said, but at the same time, it's like, all right, so here's an attack on Earth, a pretty major attack that's never mentioned ever again in Star Trek. Way to go, guys. The Zindi, who are they? Oh, okay. This is where I kind of went, and I'm out. So I get why you like this one. And yeah, on rewatches now, I totally agree. It is a good cliffhanger. But first watch through, this is where I was like, this is getting stupid. They're attacking Earth now. It's like this never actually happened because it's never mentioned again. That's just silly. What's happening? You know it's not going to be successful, so there's no real stakes here. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, sorry. Way to piss on your parade, but
I mean that was a big wide stream of piss. It really was. But at least
I wrote my name with that piss.
all the snow, just it's tropical now. But I mean, I get that. I know exactly. I as soon as you start talking, I was like, oh yeah, I know your personal baggage. I think that's fair to say. But that's the thing. Sure. This is the opposite first reaction vibe, where for me it was hard hitting, and for you felt the exact opposite.
Like, what are they doing with Trek? I'm out.
Yeah, kind of like how we all felt with Discovery season 1 and some season 2.
Yeah.
Picard season 1 and
yeah.
JJ09 and JJ Into Darkness. Okay, I'm done.
Starting with JJ 2009.
Oh, some of Nemesis. Let's be fair. Some of the bad choices there. What do you guys think? I mean, I definitely it hit me, and I mean, also groundbreaking. I mean, DS9 did a
Literally, it broke Florida.
yeah, seriously. I mean, DS9 did do long arcs, but this was an entire season of one story. DS9 was a shifting story, and it was a multi-season arc, but it was also a shifting narrative. This was extremely, and this feels almost more groundbreaking than DS9, but I guess it was a very specific version of the formula.
But the problem is, it was a prequel, so you know that anything like it's all going to be solved. It's going to be fine because Earth is still around later.
Yeah, but it could also be fixed. I mean, that's the problem with time travel. The fact when we see Enterprise J, we know it doesn't matter. The Federation's still there. You know, now we know in Discovery the Federation is destroyed, so it does actually remove. Well, it removes tension. It means it survives up to a certain point. That's the problem with any of these narratives.
Yeah,
you know, all our heroes are going to live. But because it's so far in the past, and there is Temporal Cold War stuff, Stuart. To be fair, they could have messed up the future.
That's right.
More.
Yeah, and all through Enterprise, I was like, they can fix this. Temporal Cold War. They keep mentioning it. Yay, future guy. Not down there too. So.
Although I'm actually okay with they may have been able to cover this up, like as something else, because
Hashtags India attack didn't happen.
with an inside job, yeah. Because like it was like a 2-minute attack. It was quick. It blew up. There's no trace. A bit of apart from the big hole in the world, but they could have tried something else. I can imagine someone may have to try to cover this up and not get out. Because do you really want a worldwide panic that we're being attacked by aliens? You know, Starfleet knew, but who's to say they told everyone else? Like, what are they going to say in the news? Maybe it's just
that's brought up later in Enterprise with remember the
season
humans
4.
Humans attack Phlox.
Yep. No, you're right.
We don't want aliens here.
Yes.
Starfleet has no right being out there and making everybody aware of our existence because it's going to drop. Exactly. So, Tab Extra though puts in 20 krona and says,
"Oh, thank you.
Please give us an Esri Captain show. I would be down for that, especially now. I'd love to see her back in a uniform or out of a uniform." Gareth Rooney, €5. Also, remember there was a cliffhanger at the end of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, that led into Search for Spock. I was going to jokingly put that on my list. When I first woke up and walked upstairs this morning to get a coffee, I'm thinking I'm going to put Star Trek II on the list just to piss off Samuel. But it's not really a cliffhanger. It's he's dead. It's a happy note. Onwards. We don't know what's happening next.
Yep.
It was a movie. Yep. It's different. So I decided not to. But I was going to do that as a joke.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not a cliffhanger. It's retconningly a cliff tease. But it's not a find out what happens in Star Trek 3. They didn't even know they were doing a Star Trek 3 at the time. And that was an addition after. So it's not a cliffhanger. If anything, 3 is to 4. Because that's look, we're on Vulcan in a bird of prey. What's going to happen next? That's a cliffhanger.
I considered that one as well.
Yeah, and I would have been fine with that. I'd actually been fine with that.
But at the same time, it's like, you don't know that the Federation doesn't send a ship to pick them up until the next movie, because that would make the most sense. That Vulcan would just send them back home, or the Federation would have a ship
to stop
by. Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I can imagine that one for sure. Yeah.
Misha puts in $5 and says, "IP freely."
Oh.
I'm glad. Squadra Course $2. You gotta hate the Zindi after they blew up Disney.
That's a dark joke.
Well, let's be fair. I mean, the Star Wars fans probably loved them, even though they used the Death Star to do it. The Death Star blew up Disney.
Oh my god! Wouldn't that be a great re-render? Just swap out the Zindi probe for a Death Star. Yeah. Exactly the same edit. That'd be great.
Yeah. So that was your number 6?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And I like this is different. I really like that. Big fan of it being different because we're all really distinct reasons.
I love how like once I started talking, you clicked in going, "Oh yeah, he wouldn't like this one." This is the one that took me out of Enterprise a bit. So
yeah.
Anyway, number 6 for me is Unimatrix Zero. We see.
I thought you were gonna say unification there. I was like,
no.
Oh. Okay.
We see Tuvok, B'Elanna, and Janeway Borgified, and just the to be continued. It's like, all right, okay. They went full Borg because they talk about that it'll be reversible and stuff, but they're stuck in the Unimatrix Zero, and we know that Locutus came back, so it's a possibility. But at the same time, seeing 3 of our heroes in Borg makeup at the end, and Tuvok and B'Elanna walk right by Janeway without even I find it pretty impactful, and it's always so cool to see them in the makeup. So I don't remember much else around it. That's one of the problems I had with this list, because I'm not watching the whole episode or the last 10 minutes of each one. But I just remember seeing this the first time and going, "Damn, how's this going to play out?" So,
well, it's the memories. It's the gut reaction that you had. Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
I
our
don't remember
heroes.
the story around Unimatrix Zero, really, though.
The problem with the Borg stuff, they blend in a little bit because it's all the same alcove, all the same sets, all the same green fashion. They're all great. I like a lot. They're very creative, but it is a lot of the same stuff visually. Yeah. I'm skimming because I'm trying to. Unimatrix Zero is when they actually found a place called Unimatrix Zero where drones are communicating with each other while regenerating, and they get to have their humanity, alienity.
Alienity.
But also we get a lot of stuff with the Borg Queen dealing with that and the internal politics almost of the Borg Queen, which is really interesting in itself. And then the rescue plan to try and save them, because if they can save Borg, that's a big potential, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
so anyway, I just remember watching this one live and going, "Damn, I can't wait till next season." And that's one of the things that is important in these is I can't wait till next season. Like, they hooked me again.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely. What a visual. What a visual.
What a savings.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it though.
That's the way you said it. I was like,
oh dear. But we're getting into the bottom 5, guys.
Top 5. Bottom 5.
Yes, because they're lower than in my editing order. Guys, Super Joe, what do you think of our list so far? Do you agree? Have we missed any that you think should be on the list? What do you guys think is going to be our number 1, based on what we've said so far? Because there's a good amount of ones we haven't said yet.
I don't think anybody's going to guess my number 1.
That's a good sign. Guys, talk to us right now. Super Chat, what do you think our number 1's going to be?
And hit like. We need another 18 likes to hit 100 likes. We have 106 people here. That's totally doable. Hit that like button. But yes, by all means, put in your super chats of what you think our number 1 will be, or what your number 1 is, or what your favorite cliffhanger of all Star Trek is. Please let us know.
We love the chat. Literally and figuratively.
Kenju22 says mostly agree, but Best of Both Worlds should have been number 2. I disagree, but it'll probably be Samuel still hasn't mentioned it. Maybe it's on his list. Who knows?
Maybe there's better ones out there.
It was literally my number 2 at number 9, because it was the same. So I got you there.
Number 2 being the worst best.
Sergeant Montgomery, $3. Chronoton shields up. Let the year of hell reign. Year of hell. I mean, don't know what you're talking about.
Hell? Hell hath no fury, like a 7 of 9 scorned by her lover in Unimatrix Zero. I tied it. Right. My number 5 is the Equinox. Quite a bit higher than yours. This one, I think I remember watching, maybe not live, but first watch enough to remember the feeling of that. I may or may not sneeze as well, so forgive me. This does help being such a strong 2-parter anyway, but no one could have guessed where this was going. And that was what makes it such a strong cliffhanger. And it escalates very quickly, or it gets worse very quickly. It goes from being, hey, we found another ship. Hey, we've saved them. Hey, they're a bit weird, but of course, they're new characters. Fine, whatever. It could be anywhere. Oh, we've got a way to save everybody. They're stealing it. They've stolen it. They've left. Oh, no. And there's this gradual tension of them pulling down the shield power. and then once they leave, and it you know, and to know the Equinox crew actually, as far as they may be concerned, sacrifice the Voyager crew. That could absolutely be what they're doing right now. Is saying, if they die, they die. And considering they just lost so many people, it's a bit, you know, beyond heartless, really, when you think about it. Oh yeah, jump in.
I was going to just read George Buck's comment while you were doing the read. £5. Captain's number 1 has to be Time's Arrow. What else could it be? Really?
Apparently.
Well, could be. You never know.
I mean, we haven't got there yet.
5 to go. Yeah.
But yeah, and just the, you know, like I said, the escalation.
I almost used that screen cap.
Yeah, nice. But then then just to end on the Voyager crew, because the effects are so good, they hold up today. We saw how it was the start. This could be the end of Voyager's. It's going okay. It very well could be. I didn't quite. I mean, the heroes aren't going to die, so I never got the sense they're going to kill Janeway, not even once. I just got more the sense of how much damage are they going to cause to the ship for part 2. Is this going to be a wrecked ship? Is it going to be like, 3 months later and we've lost half the crew? Like that sort of level of damage. But just the escalation, and it's there's no leap. It's very logical, the escalation, and that's the worst part. It's like, oh no. Ah! Yeah, really strong, really strong two-parter cliffhanger.
And so many people on the bridge firing phasers.
Yeah.
On the bridge. It's like, oh shit.
And it makes...
They literally opened up a can of worms.
And it makes me doubly sad because the sad thing about this is there's no plan going on. As soon as they fire a phaser, another one will open. They're just buying 5 seconds. There's nothing happening except not dying for a second. It's like a zombie swarm. You shoot them in the head, but there's literally a million more. You're not doing anything practically to solve the problem, and so that's part of the. That's why it's even more horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Martin. Obviously.
Yeah. What did Martin say?
Well, Descent. Obviously. Number 1.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Your number 5 is
my number 5
Descent.
is what we leave behind. What we left behind. Anyway, the fleet at Cardassia, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, seeing all these big Jem'Hadar cruisers, the phaser turrets, all like seeing the bug ships fly through, and it's like this is the obstacle that they have to overcome. That's pretty insane. I was looking forward to the fleet battle because it does come, which kind of.
They stand down. That's the joke.
Yeah. But no, it was like, this is the moment, like, this is what they have to face. And it's like, oh shit, it's going to get real in the next episode. So, yeah, that's about it for that one. Again, this is the episode, or the 2 episodes that have like 15 different endings. So, but this is like the real end of part 1. So,
and again, I'll be honest, I don't remember this being the end of part 1. I remember this just being, and they're at Cardassia. We stop, we don't attack them, and then we just cut to Cardassia fighting, and then they concede. I don't know, and then it's just lots of chatting.
This was just the end of part 1. It's like, oh shit.
But does that mean nothing exciting happens in part 2 at all? Because there's no space battle in part 2, is there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like, it's just talking. There's no, like, there's nothing particularly, like...
But it's so well done talking.
it is, but after this part in Sacrifice of Angels, it's not the satisfying thematic, cinematic payoff that you want. Like, this is the last shot of epicness, and then it's just talking. So I didn't even remember this was the end of part 1. Just how unimpressive that 2-parter is to me in general. And again, you can't beat Sacrifice of Angels. That's why they even used some of the shots again in this one to save budget. Because they didn't make any more. Like this would be I don't know. Like this is annoying, but this also sets up expectations of the battle in part 2, or at least seeing a Federation fleet equally as big, like in Picard with 2 fleets, and then the ceasefire comes in. When there's that one shot would have made it satisfying. Like we've got all of our ships.
But that's what I'm saying. As a cliffhanger, this is what you see.
Yes.
You know that this is what the force that they have to go up against. So it's like, what's going to happen, right? So.
No, you're right. That is the criteria, and certainly that's what I would visualize and picture. And that's the point. We're not judging the part 2. Yeah. Okay. Well defended. I like it.
Yes.
Cool.
And we got some Matthew says, "Yeah, this cliffhanger is shit." Sorry, it's okay. Not everybody can agree.
But I now I get your point of view. Like, this could have been, knowing where it had done, this could have been all the money's going to the biggest fight ever.
Because we had seen a lot of battles already, like Sacrifice of Angels.
How do you top it?
Exactly.
You're going to, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
For a
you
fun
are.
episode.
Absolutely.
It just ends with a fist fight with Kaya Parker and Gul Dukat and Cisco.
You mean Angel? I hate that name for him. For Gul Dukat. Remember when he turned into a Bajoran and Kai Wynn kept calling him Angel? That was his name or whatever.
No memory of that at all.
Yeah, it's awful. Jonathan Davies, 5 pounds. Best cliffhanger, cause and effect, with cause and effect and cause and effect. Not a cliffhanger because it happens in one episode. I wanted to add Timeless to this. I wanted to add that image of Voyager in the ice. I was like, no, that's in the goddamn episode. It's not the end of the episode.
That's the start of the
that
episode.
That would have been great. Yeah, that would have been a great, like... I mean, that was right before the credits.
Titles.
The title sequence.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like we should do a top 10 pre-title sequences.
That's way too hard, because that's not just 2-parters. That's every goddamn episode.
But that would be one of the top 10. Like, that would have to be. There would have to be.
I agree.
Oi, oi, oi.
I even looked up. It's Timeless. Yeah, okay. No, it's not a 2-parter. Shit. I was disappointed.
Yeah, wow. I like it. I like it. I like it. Cool. My number 4, though. Ooh, my number 4 is... I went best of both worlds, and I am shocked yours is not in your top 5 at least. So for the one the guy doesn't like best of both worlds as much as you do, it's like 5 higher. Who is shocked? Are you shocked?
Yeah. I'm shocked. I hated making this list, so you get what you get.
No, like you said, this one is I don't have the at the time impact because I wasn't there at the time. That's all lost on me. But part 1 is a strong part, and obviously it's our hero gets assimilated, and Riker is in a place to take over, and the Enterprise feels big, powerful, strong, and there's a lot of confidence with our Borg fighting weapons. It's an extremely simple next time on cliffhanger, but it has, because it is so simple and so character weighted, it has more power than a lot of these because it is just our lead is assimilated. And you don't know how let down you're going to be in 6 months. But I mean, I wish they had 2-parter, twice the budget. This could have been the best 2-parter. But we've got First Contact. We've got the big Borg storyline for TNG. It's called First Contact, and they have the money to make it good. So, but yeah, I mean, for me, this is definitely number 4 because it does hit all the notes, and it leaves you needing more.
Yes. And actually, if I could go back and remake this list, I probably would have bumped it higher just because of that initial gut punch of Locutus but I think my knowing part 2 kind of dulled it a little bit for me here, which is not the point of this list, but there's other really great ones in Star Trek. There's just so many that I don't know. Some of them just were more impressive to me.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. And I was trying to go on just like punch value on a lot of these, and this one certainly final comments. Hey, the criteria is so different. That's why I said to you, is like, this is not the same list in any way. It's a totally different criteria, which is great. That's why I suggested them both, and you were not as convinced in the first, and then you thought about it, like, oh, they are different. It's like they can be very different.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There.
You're number 4 then, and we don't know where we're gonna go. So I'm intrigued.
My number 4 is Scorpion. Because that visual of the, Species 847 ship coming in, and then the other one's joining it, forming the ring, and then the blast, planet explodes, and then you just get the Borg hightailing it out of there, with dragging Voyager along, like, hey little buddy, we'll help you.
Totally misscaled as we know, but that's okay.
Yes, and I think the other two cubes that are with this one get destroyed
Yep.
and while they're fleeing, so it's like really impactful, literally. Pardon the pun. But yeah, and you don't know where it's going to go. So yeah, we've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but yeah, seeing the introduction of East Species 8472, really good CGI, just really impressive visual ending to a season was wow. So that's why it's here. It's number 4. So I mean, it's almost in the top 3.
I like it. Yeah, very strong.
Um,
Yeah, I mean it's iconic. It's a yeah, very strong.
Damian Bailey puts in £5.
Thank you.
The score at the end of Best of Both Worlds is amazing. Try it on Blu-ray in DTS HD. Yeah, it is very like yeah.
Unless
it trails, and then it trails off.
Unless you watch it directly, and then it whimpers instantly in part 2.
Yep. That's the problem. Trying to find the midway point on some of these because they're presented as all one on my files here. So, Speaking of, guess what? I've got like one episode in my DS9 season 6 folder. All I've got is Valiant. There's no other episodes in season 6 apparently.
Yeah, I'm also missing seasons 1 to 3, which is great. Luckily, we never used seasons 1 to 3. Luckily,
not yet.
No, yeah, I know, which is terrible because I do need them at some point. Yeah.
Gareth Rooney, €5. Encounter at Farpoint where Q chases the Enterprise using the Firefox symbol. I watched it. I thought, okay, maybe I can put that in there, but barely made my top 10 list for 2-parters. But yeah, it just didn't cut it. Sorry.
And L Max's first time here. Are we analysing ships? No, we do ships on Saturdays. Every single Saturday is a brand new ship analysis, discussion, review, theory, or first look. And during the week we do sub things that are live to the audience. That we love the live stream. We have interactive conversation, and we do. You guys ask top 10s. So we're doing top 10s. Otherwise we do episode reviews, breaking news, and general Trek discussions. So pretty varied list.
And during new seasons of Discovery or Picard or whatever, whenever there's new ships, we have multiple episodes throughout the week, based, talking about the different ships or whatever.
It's one a day or more. For the first three episodes of Picard, it was 2 episodes a day.
Ah, the good old days, Samuel.
Ah, the days.
With good old taken out. Yes,
the days. Nice. Well, I like some of our swap numbers there. Bronze though. Bronze. Now this we've left out some pretty big ones each. I don't remember which though, so we'll see where we are. Oh, and I wonder if you'll be surprised by my top 3. I wonder.
Probably. I think you're going to be surprised by mine.
That sounds good.
So what's your number 3? What's your bronze medal?
I think it just skipped.
7 more likes, guys.
Ooh, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. My number 3, the bronze is Into Mirror Darkly.
Really?
Because the satisfaction value here was so great that as an audience member you are left with all, because you didn't, none of us really I think at the time thought they're going to go this far with the bridge realistically to build most of it. And so I started in my brain thinking, ooh, next part, all on the Enterprise, we're going to see corridors, we're going to see rooms, we're going to walk around it, we're going to see long conversations. Like I said on the previous one, nowhere near as epic as it could have been, and it should have been probably. Well, okay, it was a partially destroyed ship, so I mean, they had broken corridors. But this, like, the amount of effort put in is visible on screen, and it just feels more modern, feels more real, feels more alive. While the actual main A-plot of the NX being destroyed don't really care in the grand scheme.
Yeah, exactly.
Although it is still impressive in its own way, and Tholian Web, like, it's still cool, but as soon as this pops up, it's like, and don't care.
Plus, we get to see NX-01 escape pods for the only time.
Yes.
Oh, is it the only time? Yeah.
Yeah, well, as Doug's clear to say, the mirror escape pods.
Oh, yes.
Weirdly enough, they're red in his Prime version. Which is funny. But yeah, but I just love that. As soon as this comes up, you don't care about the NX stuff. It shrinks away, and then you need to see more of this. You're just clawing at your face until you can put on part two. And luckily, of all these part one and part twos, this has probably one of the most successful continue into part two. Like the first scene, it's such a good actiony. Like it makes Connie feel strong and yet damaged, and one of the best like continuing from that part one, part two moment, because it just keeps the momentum, and then it slows, but it keeps out for a little bit. So yeah, just for the power this had, how do you top an episode this cool? You just go full Tears Con. It looks incredible, best it's ever looked, So yeah, there we go.
Interesting choice. I honestly didn't expect this to be on your list, as much as I know you love this episode. As far as cliffhangers go, I didn't really consider it a cliffhanger per se. It's just like what's going to happen next? It wasn't anything epic happening. I mean, the NX-01 got destroyed.
Well,
like you said,
who
cares?
But it is still epic in that way. What are they going to do with the Define? It's that we see a Connie. It's the yeah.
No, I get your reasoning. I kind of disagree a little bit. It's just like it's not really an impactful cliffhanger for me, this one. So
this for me.
That says a lot. That's awesome. Absolutely.
Cool.
Matthew DeFreitas, $2. Can we take a minute to appreciate Gambit? Love that episode. It's okay.
Is that the?
Don't remember the cliffhanger in that one because I didn't watch it specifically for this.
Isn't that the card? He's pretending to be Galen.
Yeah. With the weapon that, as long as you aren't mad or angry, it won't hurt you.
Sorry, I'm not a fan. I do like the Savak actor coming back. I admit she's pretty good in that. I'll give him that, but yes.
Yeah. Robin Curtis.
Yes. Right, your bronze. What makes it bronze, Stuart? I need to know.
My bronze is basics.
Oh.
Yeah. Just the thought of not only being stranded in the Delta Quadrant, but also on a planet with no technology now, and seeing your ship fly away. What are you gonna do? Like, they were basically screwed. They didn't have anything. It's a terrifying prospect. I get scared I'm gonna miss a train or a flight. I'm afraid I'll get stranded, even though you can get a new ticket or whatever. You know me, Sam. I want to go on trips. I always want to be there early, and you're like, I hate you so much. But anyway, it's just my OCD. Because I like to get there early, make sure that I'm there on time and that everything's good, so I'm not like rushing. Although we did almost miss one flight on our way from LA to Denver. Got on that plane. Just didn't. Yeah.
To be fair though, that was traffic's fault, not specifically ours. Like
that was me being a dumbass and thinking the wrong time for the flight.
All that.
And the traffic was also bad. So yeah. But anyway, so this just being stranded or not getting your flight or your bus or missing a ride is a terrifying prospect to me personally. So when I saw this, I was like, God damn, they're 70,000 light years from home, and now they don't even have a ship. So how are they going to get it back from the bad guys? Part two, really, I love the way they get the ship back. I love the way it all plays out. But it definitely gut punched me because I was like, oof, I can't imagine being stranded anywhere. Like, that just terrifies me. So this one was really personally really hit me hard. So
I love the fact that you picked this because I feel like people always look down this episode for some reason. Like, it's not the best, but I'm really, because conceptually, wow. Like there's not many more stakes. Like, even removing the comm badges, not even leaving that MacGuffin of tech. Brilliant. Yeah, wonderful.
And all the things you said, landing sequence, the takeoff sequence, it just flying over their heads, and Janeway kind of, it's like, what are you gonna do?
I love Kate Mulgrew's acting. She's still so stoic, but not in like a annoying way, abrasive, too much, too arrogant. It's just like, and this is my hand. Let's play with it. We've got to continue. It's very good. Yeah.
That thing you can't find throws in an amazing $20 super chat. So thank you so much. Best cliffhanger in Star Trek history. Final episode of TOS and the beginning of TMP.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I hear production took a little bit longer on the part 2 of Turnabout Intruder called The Motion Pit.
Yeah.
Admiral Kirk got promoted. He got promoted to Admiral in between because it took so long to make part 2. Terrible. Although, to be fair, you could be talking about the Turnabout Intruder scene in Continues. Oh, he's not, but because obviously I redo the scene.
Yeah.
Anyway. Wow, cool. Then, number 2 and number 1, the silver and the gold.
Before we get to number 2, though, we got another super chat from Misha.
Hey.
Misha with $5. Basics was very impactful for me the first time, and still like it today. Great tone and overall concept. Yeah, and it actually made the Kazon like, holy shit, these guys might be a threat. Now they have advanced tech. Like, that's terrifying.
The sad thing is, this would have been a phenomenal like season 5 episode with when the lessons they'd learned. Like, this would have been a heavy, hard hitting. I guess swap Hirogen for Kazon for Hirogen. That's the only change you need. And obviously, then you've got the better filmmaking techniques. Like, this would be just a bit more experience, sort of really serve.
I also think more than 2 episodes would have been good for this one. Have them tooling around in Voyager for a little while, causing some headaches.
But that's tricky though, because the planet stuff is the least interesting stuff, because it means nothing in the grand scheme. While still interesting, it means nothing. So if it had been a pre-warp planet and they met like the people, that would have at least had a bit more impact.
Or transpose it with the one where Janeway and Chakotay have the illness and they're on the planet for like a month or something, telling Voyager not to come back, and they build a little, they kind of get comfortable.
That's true.
And just as they're getting comfortable and kind of accepting the fact, all of a sudden Voyager's back. Like, you could have done that with the crew. That would have been interesting to see how Starfleet would have trained their people to set up a society in just such an eventuality, right?
Commit to the bit and then have it all taken away. That's true.
Yeah.
But then I feel like that might have been... Well, I think probably we would have said it wasn't very Star Trek-y, because it would have been... The only thing Star Trek about them would be their uniforms. Everything else is just people on a planet. You know? So...
like I said, seeing the Star Trek training or the Starfleet training would have been interesting to see how.
Yeah, I think I would have, if I would have had it be they were beamed down with some supplies, with some phases. Like, we're only giving you 5 phases, and so they have some basic tools, but not enough. It's just to go into your concept, make it a bit more Star Trek-y, but still the same premise, like hard enough.
And the thing is, it's early enough in the show that you could still have Maquis versus Federation. Especially when times are so hard.
That would have been
good. Maquis would want to do their own thing.
Wow.
Not necessarily listen to the Federation, and it could definitely cause like 2 camps, as it were. Which, if you gave them phasers, that could be bad. So there's a lot of potential there. So.
No, that's a great point, and that's certainly because they would have been trained to deal with this sort, a situation that vibed similar to this more effectively. Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense. But hey ho, it's only 2 parts, and we have to focus on Seska's baby. Hey, it works, just not that much time. Anyway. Yeah. Bronze, Stuart. What are our bronzes? Shall we find out? Shall we find out, ladies and gentlemen?
We have found out our bronzes. We're looking at our silvers now.
You
want to edit that part out? Yeah,
so, Stuart, let's talk about not our bronzes. No. We're well past our bronze. Our silver medal winners. There ain't no bronze here, Stuart. Silver.
That's right. Nobody remembers the 3rd place winner. Loser. The 1st loser. The 2nd loser. I'm done. Anyway, yes. What is your number 2 silver place award winner?
Let's make sure I get the name right. Call to Arms. DS9. DS9 wins 2nd place. Call to Arms. And again, I don't remember much of this episode until you start reminding yourself what happened. This is the one where I say they took DS9. They were given DS9. The Dominion were given DS9 by our heroes, which in itself is weird. They lay the minefield. This goes from being, oh no, we've got to deal with the Dominion, to we're going to mine it. They're going to say, no, you can't mine it. We're going to come after you. They come after us. We basically destroy as much of the station as we can. And then it ends on the very first big CGI fleet ever in Star Trek. And I don't remember, was my first memories of it, but the moment, although now I'm looking at it and I can see how I've already broken the Lightwave models, like they've already, you know, like there's problems already in the rendering. But just the moment and seeing Cisco in the chair and be like, don't worry, we'll take it back. And then the Bird of Prey and the Defiant meet this fleet. And you've never seen anything like this. And with Klingon ships as well. And using Katinga that they never used again because they didn't get paid for it, so they didn't use it. At least in this style. And it was just this moment of, oh damn. And like all the effort put in. Because they already had the models from First Contact. So you had the Akira, you had the Steam Runner of the Saber. Then they already built the...
But you can't put a Sovereign in there because people think it's the Enterprise because we're stupid.
Mm-hmm. Put all of Enterprise D's in there though. Gas Colossus. But yeah, just as a cliffhanger, it's a good episode. It escalates everything. It changed the paradigm. They don't live at DS9 in a show called DS9 for like 5 episodes. And just that last scene, the scale compared to anything we've seen before. And it's weird as well because why would they be meeting a fleet that close, that big, that at sublight? It doesn't necessarily make sense in the grand scheme. Why just go attack DS9 then? You're right here. It's a big fleet. But whatever. It's just a great visual. And it says it's like a boom moment.
No,
it's a mic drop.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is an amazing cliffhanger episode because you're wondering how they're going to get the station back, and it's also not solved the next episode. It's drawn over a course of like 5 or 6 episodes, and it's like damn. But it's so satisfying when they get it back then. But I remember at the time thinking, A, that fleet is impressive, and B, shit, the Cardassians have their station back now. We did have the minefield up, but yeah, it was still super, super impactful. It's not even on my list. I didn't even think about it.
Well, it's because it's because of the punch of this moment, which is a lot of this stuff owes. Because and it isn't a cliffhanger in the conventional sense because the next episode doesn't resolve any of it, but it cliffhangs the entire premise of the show.
Yeah.
Total paradigm shift. It's like if they'd killed Picard, right? It's like, or actually, it's, you know, yeah, it's just such a shift. And it's like I say, this was like CG for the first time, and this shows the effort they went into. There isn't just 10 galaxies. There isn't just 5 Defiants. No, it's a very diverse fleet, and it still looks and feels diverse. It's brilliant.
And Ryan K makes a good point. Loves Cisco leaving his baseball behind.
Yes.
It's like, I'll be back for this thing. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great choice. Very, very, very happy you picked that.
Unexpected.
I wish I would have thought about it. It didn't even come up in my, unfortunately, because that would have been on my list, I think.
Yeah, I was more flexible with my definition, but this still does count. It's a season ender, etc.
Yeah.
All right. Your silver, definitely not bronze.
Definitely not bronze, because bronze sucks. My silver is Year of Hell.
Oh, with a very dark picture.
Well, yeah, sorry. I wanted to get as many of the escape pods launching as I could, and just kind of... Anyway. This is the whole speech from Janeway, you know, go do your thing, set your course to the Alpha Quadrants, find faster ships if you have to. The escape pods have tracking beacons, will find you. Senior staff's going to stay aboard as long as possible, but, you know, there's limited resources here, so we're going to take care of things. Go, do the best you can. You're on your own. But you're not on your own because we're going to meet you, and you better have stories. It's just a great speech and a great... Again, it's such a sucker punch. The ship is destroyed. You see all the escape pods leave, and you're thinking about these poor people in these little escape pods setting a course for the Alpha Quadrant. It's like, what? Okay, thanks. Find faster ships if you can. Like, I just loved her speech.
And it's a bit of a nonsensical thing, because it'll take them like 6 months to get out of the solar system.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's such a meaningless, like, in the grand scheme. Yeah.
But to see all the escape pods like come out and just know that Voyager's a wreck, what's going to happen. Year of Hell as a whole was a great 2-parter.
It's hellish.
And this is just, yeah, And this is just a great end of an episode where you're like, what the hell's going to happen now? Because honestly, most of the crew is either dead or escape pods. So, yeah, can they get all the escape pods back? How's this going to work out? So, yeah. This was another sucker punch for sure.
And I'll be honest, didn't even consider it because just they are distinct in my head, but it's the most down of down. It's the most simple down of down that is just like get over like quickly. Part 2, go. But no,
but also that uplifting speech from Janeway beforehand, like it was such a good speech for the situation they were in. Like she's trying to be optimistic, right? So
and I definitely vibe wise, I remember definitely. I mean, it was an impressive episode, and I don't think anybody first watch is thinking they're gonna sink this low. None of us were thinking that, and you can't get lower than escape pods. Like that. That's it. That is, we are doomed. Escape, and shitty little pods that have like 10 days worth of food. Like that. That's it. Like there's nothing left. There's nothing you can do left. And the visuals are great. I always really like the effect shot. It was, to get that close to a model is always the hardest thing because you have to up the detail drastically. And I don't know if any of us expected them to reset the timeline. So this is all permanent as far as, or at least,
yeah, exactly,
continual. No, brilliant. It's probably one of the smallest moments in the list, like simplest, smallest. Again, I refer to a planet getting blown up in a Borg's cube pulling a Voyager. Some escape pods leaving. Like the moment is so tiny, but it has that scalpel into the heart, like slicing it.
Well,
the fine.
I put myself in either the captain's position.
Yeah.
What's it's come down to? You gotta let your crew go, essentially, or one of the crew members that are in these escape pods going, she wants us to do what? Are you kidding me? So I mean, either way, it's like the abandonment thing again for me, because number 3 was being left on a planet stranded in the Delta Quadrant. This is the same thing essentially. You don't have your ship, you're stuck on an escape pod, and the ship that the main senior officers are on is destroyed essentially, and so it's like, what's going to happen?
And unlike other ones where anything can happen, you're thinking, oh god, let's not let anything happen. Because that could be, we lose the ship, we lose the crew, it becomes 10 people live on our ship and no one else. Yeah, for sure. And it could have been like almost an entire season arc of them finding the crew. That could have been a really interesting arc, because we'll get, a Heroic ship warps in, grabs them all, leaves. Like, oh, shit.
Yep.
Safe with us.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's good for Voyager. Good for Voyager. Right, guys, we're hitting our number 1.
Well, we hit 100 likes, but if you haven't hit like yet, hit that like button as well.
And I'm going to be greedy. I want to see another $30 in Super Chats. I want to know right now, before we go, what is your favourite two-parter, or at least one that really sticks out to you? And if you've got an idea for us, I want to see 6 5s. I think that's fair. Let us know right now. We're at the end of our list. So what is our top one? What is your top one? And maybe it'll be the same as ours, because there's actually quite a lot we haven't picked. So it really could be pretty varied where we pick here.
Yeah. Kenju 22, $5.
Thank
Marooned, abandoned, asteroid, buried alive. Buried alive. Yes. Yes, let us know your top one and what you think ours might be, because I'm really interested to find out.
Yeah.
This may be a good time to mention some honorable mentions, honestly.
Oh, excellent. Do it.
Because I had quite a few. I did have In a Mirror Darkly, just because I really wanted to have it on the list. But like I said, it just didn't have that cliffhanger thing for me. It's just like, okay, that happened. Nothing really major. Like I told you, 0 Hour, which is not, it's the beginning of Stormfront. Like 0 Hour, and they find Archer, and you see the Nazi uniform on the alien, and then Stormfront Part 1 is the next one. So it didn't really fit.
Well, that one's the biggest anticlimactic / wait, what ending? Because they solved the solution. Well, they solved the season, and then wait, there's more.
Yeah, they just got rid of this Indy, and all of a sudden, what the hell's happening now?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And I remember being disappointed by the lack of closure. Like, it's a cool visual, but I just was like, I'll take a satisfying ending and then a season 4 starting, please. I don't need, oh look, the makeup was great. Like, no distant. Like, imagine for the actor getting hired for that role. It's like, right, we need you for one day, then we won't then in 6 months we start filming season 4. He's like, what? Yeah. 6 months from now. It's like, oh, okay. That was exciting. I'll see you in 6 months. Bye.
Matthew says 0 Hour. Joseph says, I don't know what either one would choose. Maybe Tears of the Prophets. DS9 season 6 finale. And yeah, Martin, I agree. Seeing the P-51s come in and start shooting at the shuttle pod was amazing.
Yeah.
I love P-51s. They're my favorite warbirds. So yeah, that was really cool to tie Star Trek. See, Star Trek and P-51 Mustangs. There's also a Camaro in Voyager and Sherlock Holmes in TNG. All of my interests in Star Trek. Yeah. Gotta say.
Yes. Nice. Any other thoughts, guys, for what you think our favourite one is?
I also had like Dark Frontier here as an option, where Welcome Home, she like the Borg Queen, who's not Alice Krieg, touches Seven's face and is like, welcome home. But I don't remember much around that. I don't remember those 2 episodes really, so I didn't know what to...
Yeah, I remember that one being more of an intriguing, ooh, okay, what's going to happen? Rather than that nail-biting, oh, what's going to happen? You know, each of these elicit an emotional response, and that one's like, oh, cool. Which isn't necessarily what you want to... is that same gut punch as other ones are.
No.
Not to say they all need to be, clearly, but... yeah, and it's certainly a very varied list. And hey, you put TOS, I put Discovery. You know, we did get some odd choices there.
And Snoopy McQueen, $5. Number 1, Best of Both Worlds. I assume that's your choice. And when is Samuel's Trek fan film coming out?
Well, A Long Way From Home came out last week. So go watch it today, A Long Way From Home. Thanks for the plug on Power 543 Fan Films. 25,000 views. From
Nice.
August 30th. That's 14 days. About to hit 15. And there may or may not be another emergency release coming soon to tell the story of. Oh my god. What a cluster F. But if you want to see more Star Trek fan films from me, I have an Indiegogo running right now. We're currently at £3,212, which is 42% of our goal, with 16 days left, just crossed over. And we want to make not only the 5 we're pitching, but also several smaller ones. But without the full amount, that would be rather difficult. So if you can, please do go look at Trek shorts. By fans, for fans. A lot of great stories, a lot of great actors, a lot of great costumes, a lot of great CG, a lot of great interiors. I don't know why you wouldn't give. I put a lot of time into this. And Stuart's seen some of my Defiant interiors, or at least 2. You guys have seen 1. Does it not look like a Defiant?
It's amazing, yes.
Thank you. It's not photoreal or anything, but I'm not that good. But it's... You buy it. In a good way.
With the lighting that I like in ships' interiors, that's splendid.
That is true.
That's why I like those lightings. That's it.
Yeah.
You know me in the lighting. So.
That is true. Turn him off and he's turned on.
Turn off the lights so you can't see anything, and it looks great.
That's what Sylvia says about you every night.
Oh, shut the...
You walked into that, didn't you, though?
I did, like a dark room, yes. Misha, $5. You just liked it for the P-51s, and that's okay.
Hey, P-51, not as good as the P-90, though.
I'd put a P-51 against a P-90 any day. Heck yeah. Matthew DeFreitas, $5. If you are ever in Hudson...
Massachusetts? Or
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
I have no idea. You can see and touch a P-40 that survived Pearl Harbor and it still flies.
Whoa.
Go to the American Heritage Museum. It's incredible. That is awesome.
That is awesome.
All right. Number 1. No, actually, 4 more likes. 4 more likes with 110.
So we can't reveal till then. My hand's off the clicker. 4 likes. 5 likes.
Another $20?
Yes.
Super chats would be great.
Yeah, 20. Although 30 would be better. Although no one's guessed our number 1 yet.
No one has guessed it.
I don't
know what yours could be.
Yeah, I don't know if I want you to guess or not, because I don't think you're gonna get it, and I'll be honest, I've been second guessing this entire live. Let's see if I can justify it at this last moment.
Endgame. Let me guess Endgame.
No.
Okay. You got to guess one for me.
Okay.
So.
I'm trying to think we have already talked about. Maybe a DS9 one. Maybe you're gonna go. Maybe you're trying to stay actually quiet on the Fleet one, so you didn't say as much on that one. Maybe the Fleet shot one, because the baseball as well. I don't know. Maybe. You stayed suspiciously quiet. You stayed suspiciously quiet on a few, but then you often jumped in with. I didn't even think of that. Just like, oh, that's why.
Yep.
Which is great. Yep. So I don't know.
Okay, well that's good.
Oh, hey, CAC. So, well, you're just about to catch number one, which in theory is why you're here to see our top one. So you made it for that. Oh yeah, maybe all good things. I guess maybe all good things. As in, I don't know how it cliffhangs, but it does cliffhang. All right, number one then, guys, is I'm gonna go with Unimatrix Zero. I'm debating if that's really what I think, but I was going by scale of vibe, and I remember watching this, at least my first time, and being fully blown away that we just assimilated our three heroes. That's absurd. And this is definitionally TNG assimilated one guy, so that has to be lower on the list. This is all three of them. Therefore, by definition, more impactful. Because there's three of them. And it doesn't make Best of Both Worlds any less impressive. But I remember this being like, oh my bloody god. What? Excuse me? And the fact that... And I love the fact it's part of their plan. That really takes you aback. But it's kind of the way they get assimilated. Their beams aboard, and they get found pretty much instantly. And they get like... as close to beaten up and inject. You see it. It's visceral. All three of them is quite graphic. What?
Did you use the same picture as me too? Damn.
Yes. What else is? Yeah, it's the visual that haunts you a little bit. Although you can see the bald cat more when you stop and look. But no, just because normally to think a Borg cube would be you get effed up very quickly. Like, that's the horror you think it should be. And so to actually see that be, them trying to go through... Because they've been practicing it throughout the episode. They're firing these phases. They get a couple of shots. They're immune. And then they get each taken out very quickly. That's what you think is going to happen every other time they get assimilated. So the story lets that viciousness truly come in. And the fact they get assimilated and also modify... I know they time jump in logically at least a couple of hours, if not days ahead. Because you can't mutilate them that quickly. Really, it doesn't... But it's fine, whatever. But they go not just like a little bit, full on. It's like, oh my god.
I remember thinking, how are they going to get their hair back?
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be bald. No, we can grow that shit. It's fine.
And also, we just had the 7 of 9, like all that stuff. I was honestly expecting them to have Borg implants the rest of their lives as a situation. Like they sacrificed their personal health for this. But I love the fact that in this part, they both are still, they are genuinely assimilated. It's only in the second part did the drugs take over to pull their brains back. So these are they're actual drones. They are gone. And that's the way they act that. If they'd been more free-flowing, like people, that would have ruined the ending. It's the way they act it. It's so specific.
Wouldn't it have been cool if they kept implants and they actually had like a small collective amongst themselves that they used a few times?
Yep.
Like to communicate? That would have been fantastic.
Or do the 7 shield emitter thing. Or have they could have done that, but it would have opened too many doors, I guess. But this one, like I said, always, because it is like the Borg of the epitome, Best of Both Worlds is an epitome. This is all three.
Yeah. And
there's a good space battle. The rest of the episode, like, it's fine, it's good, but it's just like, oh my god, because it is so out of the blue. Like you do not expect this in any way. It is so abrupt. Yeah.
So your number one is my number 6.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, and your we had base, we had the other ones that were shift as well a little bit. And your Best of Both Worlds was 9 and mine was 4. So
yeah.
Your number one.
My number one.
What's it gonna be?
My number one is Shockwave Enterprise.
I was gonna joke that this was your one when people asked. I was like, no, he's not gonna pick that. I was, oh my god. Okay.
Think about me and my OCD and my issues. Talk about abandonment. You're in a
Oh.
destroyed future, and Daniels turns to you and says, "We have no way to get you back. You're not only stranded
Oh
on a planet,
goodness.
but you're stranded out of your time." That's a terrifying prospect.
Oh goodness.
Every time I watch or read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells,
Mm.
I'm like, that sounds like a fantastic story. What if you get stuck back in the past? You're screwed. Just it's a terrifying premise to be to miss, a return trip. So this one really got me, and that pan out of like, yeah, we can't get you back, and just seeing the destruction, and Daniels didn't even expect it. Like, how are you gonna get? How are they gonna do anything?
Mm.
There's wreckage all around them. There's no way to get him back to his time. I mean, and even it does carry on to the next episode a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a little easy the way they do it, though, unfortunately. But that moment was a real Jesus Christ. What are they going to do? Because they are stuck. So, yeah, Shockwave is my number one. Enterprise. I don't know if anybody would have expected that. So,
Wow. Yeah, this one was one I considered, but for me, the last 2 minutes can't make up for everything else.
okay.
But as a pure raw concept, just the sci-fi element, which show it is, yeah, lost in an alternate destroyed future, which we are as a fan excited to see. This is our present for
And,
TNG.
and your expert that's with you is like, shit, I don't know what to do
Yes,
because it isn't supposed to be like this.
and he does, and Daniels does a great job of being that overarching, like Mr. Confident, and so for him to be
Yes.
genuinely, and even in the next part, like he even lets slip stuff because at this point he's like, oh fuck it, this is beyond, because he's a time agent. They're used to things changing and fixing. So
Yeah.
the fact that this much has changed, this abruptly, yeah, for sure. And I did like in general the concept of the planet being blown up and Enterprise thinking, like the episode's fine, but I just remember being this could have been the ultimate ender, which obviously for you it is. So achieved.
Yeah.
But just I would have needed personally for this. I don't remember when they are in the future. I don't know if it's Daniel's time or
32nd century, I think.
see. I would have had it be very literal. Had it be 24th and actually like this is like all Enterprise D style stuff. Like go into what we think of as the present, and that shit's all destroyed. Like give that real visceral connection, or maybe literally on a crashed Enterprise E, and they have to wreck the Enterprise E sets, and it's like yeah, this is this is the Enterprise E. Enterprise E doesn't matter, and it's crashed, and it,
But
like they could have really like drawn you in. Oh, it's just destroyed buildings. That's a thing.
the
Yeah.
problem with that, though, is like if it's that time period, you're like, oh, in the next episode, one of our heroes from another show is just going to show up and save the day. They're gonna find like Data or something, and who's going to help. Like, if you put it in a time period where you're familiar with everything and everybody, there's a chance that somebody's going to be
Well,
there to help them.
yes and no. I would agree, although I would say, what's the year? 2450. And so it's 50 years after he crashed, and everyone's dead. He says, well, I guess they don't know they have no scanners. I guess you have to do a pan, and yeah, I guess you couldn't establish that. I would have said they established everyone's dead for like 500 miles. But I guess, yeah, I guess I make it clear he thinks we're in the 2800s, but they're on the Enterprise E, which is like the source has crashed, or it's like the operation center of the Resistance. Like I would ground it in something we know to kind of feel that real distinct, and then obviously they get to walk around these because how often do you get to do that? Like
Yeah.
just with Intimate Darkly, he gets to walk through a corridor with dead first contact uniforms. Like that would be powerful as all hell, you know. Like they
Yeah.
make the base in the engineering of Enterprise E, etc. That's what I would have done. It is a bit gimmicky, but that would be really powerful.
Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, I'm going to use this old copper spoon and create a temporal comm link to Paul's room. Creeper. That's what I mean. Like the payoff in the next one's
Yeah.
like it's like okay, you're going through the rubble. You're kind of like, what are we gonna do? Oh, hey, and it's like really.
Well, this one feels like we know they can be de-assimilated. We know there's Tom Paris going to save the day with basics. This is the largest hole you can dig. How the hell do you get out of the deepest hole?
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah, they can't. Like, there's no
With a
real.
spoon.
Hey! They couldn't have been a satisfying solution, really. It was too, and I guarantee they hadn't written even part of part 2 at this point. They had no idea where they were going. right beyond the basic concept. Because this almost should have been like a 3-parter or a 4-parter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let him experience the future. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I just think it's not like with my one. We care about these characters a lot. They're assimilated. Here it's just Archer and a future we don't know. But the concept is better. But the people is less strong. Although I do like their interactions in part 2.
But it's not just Archer and the future we don't know, because of this is the result. All of history's at stake.
Well,
So
yeah.
Everything that we've known could be gone because of this.
But because it's so far after what we know, it feels abstract. So I mean, if it was in the Enterprise D era, then it's like everything, even from like stuff we love, is also destroyed. So they abstracted it too much. Although Captain Chili Beaner says, anyone want to help me out with Sam's fan films? I totally missed what he said and where to find them. Just search Power 543 fan films, or Star Trek: A Long Way from Home, or Trek Shorts.
Indiegogo Trek Short.
Yes, but I will put the Indiegogo link in right now, and that has a link to all the stuff. Take a look.
And while you're doing that, Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Enterprise dogfighting Ju-87s over New York City is epic. Not only just Ju-87s, but Ju-87s with like Buck Rogers ray guns attached to them. That was cool. And
the CG is very good for that time. Yeah. That a TV budget. If Pierre Droulet didn't say, "Yeah, I'll do the whole city," they would have been screwed.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
And Squadron Course, $2. Maybe this is the burn making Discovery fit with canon. Yeah, maybe this is the future that Discovery's in.
The burn buildings, the left girders. Dude, I am so impressed by this list. It's so variable. I mean, I think so is mine as well, to be fair. I think we both kind of went outside the box. That's great, though. Cool.
Yeah, I love when we can surprise each other, and it's like, you're going through that, and I'm like, not on my list. Not on my list.
Yeah.
Not on my list.
Is that our most diverse list ever?
I think it probably
I feel
would
like
be.
It must be.
We should do a top 10 of our most diverse lists ever.
Or top 10 Trekyards top 10s. And go by how many... You actually go how many likes they have. And it's like, our 7th top 10 live top 10 is...
Go back and watch our top 10s then, guys.
Make some
and
likes.
Hit the like button.
That's great. That's great. Right, guys. So what do you think then? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you at least agree why there are top 1 in our 10? And honestly, $6 more would be nice, and 4 more likes.
Yes.
Those are our goals.
And that super chat slot, Squadron Course currently has it. So if you want to get it, you can snipe it. Go for it.
As I said earlier, I'll be doing some Trek Shorts updates the weekend, some pictures from our recent shoot, and then maybe something new coming, well, as soon as it's finished, and I'm trying to do some CGI tonight as well, because I need to, and stuff I've never seen before in a fan film, because you've never had access to the actor before, that's why. No, it's good to have.
And I agree, Squadron Course. Good list. Too many good ones to choose from. Yes. Hey, when you're spoiled for choice, it's a bad thing sometimes. So.
Yeah, I found though that most of the ones I didn't pick them for a specific reason. It was like a gut, like nah. So while I like your list, there was always a reason. One reason went nah. You know.
Yeah, I was the same way with In a Mirror Darkly. I really wanted that to be on my list, but I just couldn't justify it as a good cliffhanger. It's like, all right, now I'm excited to see what happens next, but the NX-01 got destroyed. Who cares? It's like, I see why you picked it, but I couldn't rationalize that in my brain as a. And
that is the TOS fan moment.
Yeah.
That I'm circling on. That's amazing, honestly.
3 more likes, guys. 3 more likes to get to 120 likes. Hit it.
But I do remember exactly the moment in my life where I watched that. So.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I was squeeing a little bit. I was like, eee.
I mean, why wasn't that a 3 or 4-parter? Why couldn't that have been one of your 4-parters that you have? You know?
It gave me hope for a TOS series. And then we heard that they were coming out with Discovery, and I'm like, yes, they're gonna, yes.
Properly visually update stuff, yeah.
Negative. Area 51, $5. Unimatrix Zero. Good thing the Borg didn't hack off any limbs. No shit, eh?
I think they even mentioned that in the dialogue. I
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, that's... Oi. Oi!
Captain Chili Bina, $5. Great diversity of choices. Thanks for the Indiegogo link. Live long and prosper.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain Chili Bina. 2 more likes, guys, to get to 120.
Yes, come
on. Kenju22, $5. Should have top 10 best captain's chairs ranked by design, function, appearance, and comfort. Partial excuse to get that last $4. LOL. We have a few different ideas for some of our top 10s, so don't worry. We won't run out, I don't think.
Oh yeah, it depends how diverse. I mean, these weren't ones we thought of originally, so these are already fresh as kind of the winds take us. I mean, and I definitely, you know, we experienced those other videos together. You guys just watched them, but this is definitely a great way of doing them, interacting with you guys and having you guys ideas, etc. etc.
Although I did go back and watch our top 10 intros when there was like 5 shows back like 5 years ago, and I really miss the original top 10 dynamic of our little window boxes at the bottom and like looking at each other. We did it a different style than what we did the regular videos.
Right.
There were some good little sight gags where I'm looking at you or like threatening you with whatever. It's just funny. You're looking over at me, you know.
Us and our side gags.
Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Hey. Golden list. Good choices next time on Snipe.
Oh, barely missed.
One more like. We need one more like to get to 120. Somebody out there hasn't hit that like
button. Should be doable, right? Right?
Oh, it's totally doable. Okay. Somebody's already doing it. Oh, I hope.
Somebody don't.
$10 more. Let's get $10 more. It's a perfect number. We get $10 more. Matt Boardman, $5.
There we go.
Top 10 super chat snipes. We should do top 10 moderators. Top 10 moderators and admins.
I will be pre-recording that, and stepping out because I'm not being part. The vengeance hath of the moderators scorned.
That's a thing, sure.
And they like control our live chat, so you know. Stuart, why are all of our comments being deleted? So why is our chat completely gone? Huh? What did you say to our moderators?
Why's our channel gone? What happened? Didn't the moderators have that much power?
Yeah, they took power, Stuart. They took it.
Misha, $5. Best ever descent.
No! No! There are 4 descents.
And $3 more. Another $3 super chat would be great because we hit 120 likes.
Oh my god, 3! Yes,
honestly,
yes.
A $3 super chat would be perfect right now.
Top 10 30 rants. Yeah, film more, release more, and then we can do a top 10 of I have to watch and review them for you. I get to tell you your top 10 rants.
Top 10 rant alerts, I guess. But no, I've ranted over the years. I mean, on Captain's Logs. You'd have to go back and watch all those. Good luck. I'll occasionally watch one. It's like, so this Discovery show's coming out, and
No, but it is a super interesting commentary. Like, because we can never go back and be those old. Like, I remember I rewatched our episode 1 review, and it was like so much hope. We were so blindly hopeful because we just didn't want to be negative for the sake of it. But boy, we gave them so much credit.
$3 more, guys.
Like the amount of times we said like they could be the Herc or ancient Klingons. Like, boy, we were like throwing anything to save them. Every lifeline.
$3 more. $3 more. And tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 11:30 p.m. UK, Samuel and myself will be on.
Oh, you are going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Question of Trek. We're going to be on the Question of Trek show from Trek Continuum.
Well, that was just me.
No.
Well, you said
both of us again.
You said you weren't doing that.
I did not say
that.
I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be keeping an eye on you.
Who got that job?
I can't have you represent Trekyards without me. That's just sad. Sergeant Montgomery, $2. 30th century copper spoon temporal snipe. That wins for most creative super chat so far. That's on my top. That's my number 1.
Although I'll be honest, we're now 58 cents
58 cents from the goal.
Okay, good. Whew, okay, we went over. We got
All
more
right.
58 cents.
George Nees puts in €2. Top 10 goals bet.
Well, there's number
Perfect.
one is George.
And
Or
George also
Jorg.
has the last super chat slot.
Perfect.
That's probably a good place to leave this.
Excellent.
Should we leave it on a cliffhanger?
See you next time to find out who the last super chat is.
Right. He's Commander Cocky.
He's got a Foley, and that's Lacu just looking unhappy, which I think is fair, to be fair.
Tangerine Star 26,
Stuart.
£2.
Stuart.
Take it, Sam. What's your favorite cider?
Stuart. Fire.